What's up guys, CombatCritique here. In this video I want to give my pick for this upcoming fight between this man right here, Arman Tsarukyan and Renato Moicano. So this fight just got announced and it has been scheduled for a UFC Fight Night main event. Let's get started. So let's start with the physical stats between both these guys, starting with Arman. Height is 5 feet 7 inches for Arman and 5 feet 11 inches for Moicano. So Moicano will enjoy a 4-inch height advantage. Weight is even at 155 pounds unless somebody misses weight. However, keep in mind that Moicano was fighting at featherweight in the past, so he will be the smaller fighter in the fight. And reach is 72 inches for both these guys, so nobody will have a reach advantage, and they are both orthodox stance fighters. If we talk about the age, so Arman is a younger fighter, whereas Moicano is older than Arman. Arman, I think, is about to hit his prime. He will be doing that in another 2 to 3 years, whereas Renato, I think he is in his prime right now, and after another 2 years, I think we might start seeing the downfall of Moicano. However, he is on his prime right now, I'll say. Now let's talk about some of the striking numbers between these two fighters. So the strikes landed per minute, which signifies the number of significant strikes that you land on your opponent per minute on average. That is 3.56 for Arman and 4.75 for Renato Moicano. So Moicano is the busier striker on the feet. He will have an advantage in the strikes landed department. Striking accuracy is 45% for Arman and 47% for Moicano. So both these guys are pretty even in this, but slight advantage goes to Moicano. Strikes absorbed per minute is 1.93 for Arman and 4.07 for Moicano. I think this is because of some of the wars that he had and also the fight with RDA where he took a lot of punishment in the fight. So in this case, the lower number is actually better. So advantage goes to Arman. He gets hit a lot less than Moicano. Striking defense is 54% for Arman and 60% for Moicano. So again, he will have a slight advantage in this as well. Overall, I think in the striking department, Moicano is the better striker, as we can see from the strikes landed per minute, striking accuracy, and striking defense numbers. Now let's talk about the wrestling, grappling, and BJJ stats. So takedown average is 3.3 for Arman, whereas it is 1.66, almost half that number for Moicano. So Arman will have a huge advantage in this department. Takedown accuracy is 33% for Arman compared to 46% for Renato. So Renato will have an advantage in this department. Takedown defense is 75% for Arman and 74% for Renato Moicano. So both these guys are pretty close, but a slight advantage goes to Arman. And submission average is 0. So Arman has never subbed anybody in the UFC, and it is 0.7 for Moicano. Moicano will have the submission advantage in this fight. However, I don't think Moicano will be able to submit Arman, since these wrestlers from that area, I think they have a good submission defense, and it will be really hard for Moicano to submit Arman, even though from the stats it might look like Arman is not that good, but he is good at avoiding submissions. Let's talk about the record of both these fighters. So Arman has 22 fights, 19 wins and 3 losses. Out of the 19 wins, he has 7 by knockout, 5 by submission and 7 by decision. Out of the 3 losses, he has 1 by knockout and 2 by decision. So this man has never been submitted before. This is what I was saying before, that I don't think Moicano will be able to submit Arman. Now let's talk about Moicano. So he has 23 fights, very similar experience between both these guys. Even though Arman is the younger fighter, he still almost has the same amount of fights that Renato has. If Renato has 17 wins and 5 losses, out of these 17 wins, none have come via knockout. So this man cannot really knock out anybody. And 10 by submission, so he is a submission expert, and 7 by decision. So if he is not able to finish you via sub, then the fight goes to a decision. Out of the 5 losses, he has 3 by knockout, 1 by submission and 1 by decision, and he also has 1 draw. So overall, I think Moicano really shines in his BJJ game, in his submission game, and if not, then he goes to a decision. Whereas Arman can knock you out, and he is also good at winning submissions. He's never been submitted. Let's see some of the previous performances of both these fighters, starting with Arman Tsarukyan. In his last fight, he beat Damir Ismagulov via unanimous decision in a 3 round fight. So Ismagulov is also a great wrestler, but Tsarukyan was able to beat him and win a unanimous decision. Before that, he lost to Matush Gamrot via unanimous decision in a 5 round fight. So a lot of people were picking Tsarukyan to win this fight, but Gamrot did great in this fight, and he showed us why Matush is such a talented prospect, same as Arman Tsarukyan. But this was a great fight between two very high level wrestlers. Before that, he TKO'd Joel Alvarez in the second round and TKO'd Christos Giagos in the first round, beat Matt Frevola by unanimous decision in a 3 round fight, and beat Davy Ramos by unanimous decision in a 3 round fight as well. Before that, he beat Oliver Aubin Mercier by unanimous decision in a 3 round fight, and before that, he lost to the reigning lightweight champion Islam Makhachev in a 3 round fight. This was a unanimous decision loss for Arman. I think after this loss, after every loss, I think Arman improves, and he is a hungry young fighter. So recently he lost to Matush. So in his fight against Tamir, and also I think in the upcoming fight against Renato Moicano, he will take out his frustration and he'll train. I think after a loss he trains twice as hard. He is the younger, hungrier fighter. And let's talk about Renato now. So Renato Moicano in his last fight won against Brad Riddle via rear naked choke submission in the first round. This was a great win for Renato Moicano. Before that, he lost to RDA in a short notice fight. This was pretty unanimous, 5 round fight. So he was not supposed to fight RDA, but he was a short minute replacement. And even though he lost this fight, I think he gained a lot of fans because of his attitude to take up last minute fights. Previous to that, he beat Alexander Hernandez via rear naked choke in the second round. He beat Jai Herbert via rear naked choke too in the second round. And before that, he got KO'd by Rafael Fiziev in the first round. This was back in December of 2020. Before that, he beat Damir Hadzovic via rear naked choke in the first round itself. And before that, the last two fights he got TKO'd in the first and second round respectively to Jung Sang Sung and Jose Aldo. So this man has a pretty solid record. However, he has been knocked out and TKO'd in the past. He's also lost a unanimous decision to RDA, who really wrestled with him in this fight and you know used his weight advantage over Moicano. So Moicano is a featherweight. In this fight he was fighting RDA at lightweight. So I think in this fight, this man will be the bigger guy and he will have the wrestling advantage. Also, I think this man has more knockout power compared to Moicano. Moicano has never won by a knockout in his professional MMA career. Whereas if you talk about Sarukyan has knocked out people in the UFC. He has knocked out Joel Alvarez, Christos Giagos, and yeah, he has knocked out two of these people. So if I have to pick a winner of this fight, I'll pick Arman Tsarukyan. I think he will be the favorite on the money line. Money line. He is the younger fighter. He is the hungrier fighter. He wants to be a champion. Moicano has come out in recent times and said that he doesn't want to be a champion now. He just wants the big money. He just wants to entertain the crowd. I think this is hinting that he doesn't want the belt and he's just there for big fights and he'll make a lot of fans. He'll fight like Michael Chandler or Justin Gaethje. He wants to give wars and gain a lot of fan following, get in these big money fights, maybe get a Conor McGregor fight in the future, whatever. But I don't think Moicano wants to be a champion anymore, whereas Arman definitely wants to be a champion in the future. He is a younger fighter. He has not hit his prime yet. So for all of these reasons, I'm picking him to win this fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.